Today we will start with the next unit, that is graph. Okay, so I'll just give you one example of okay. Let's say instead of starting with the definition, I'll start with an example. Let's say this is Pune, okay, and this is let's say Baramati. Okay, so I represent these two cities, and when I say that they are connected, so I will draw a line between them. So I say that Pune is connected to Baramati, and let's say there is one more city, let's say Satara, okay, and I say that Satara is connected to Pune, and Satara is also connected to Baramati. Okay, so this is nothing but a representation in the form of graph. Okay, there are many applications of graph. We will see that as we proceed with the course, but to start with, let us understand it in a simple way. Okay, so as you can see, this is the one example of graph. There are basically two entities. The circle that you see, okay, so the circle, they are called as nodes. Okay? So I'll just draw it with the blue color so that you will understand. So this is node, and then the edges that you see in the red color, they are the edges that are connecting to the nodes. Okay, so these are the two basic entity of the graph. But when you define graph, so how do you define it? You say that graph G is equal to set of vertices and edges. You say V is nodes, or some of the time it is also called as vertices. Okay, so G is a set of vertices, non-empty set of vertices, and non-empty set of edges. So here in this example of in this particular example, what vertices we have? We have Pune, we have Baramati, okay, and we have Satara. Then if you consider E, edges, set of edges, then either you can label this, or you can say that Pune to Baramati. So I'll have Pune to Baramati, I'll write it in shortcut, Baramati to Satara, and Satara to Pune. So these are the three edges, or you can have say E1, E2, and E3, and then you can have like that. It is E1, E2, and E3, and this is how you represent this particular graph. Okay, so when you say that a particular graph or edge connects two nodes or two endpoints, so these are called as endpoints, and then this particular edge is said to be connecting to this particular endpoints. Okay, good. So if you have say finite number of edges, so it is called as finite graph. Okay, so it has a finite number of nodes, so it has finite number of nodes or vertices, and there is another is called as infinite graph. Okay, where the number of nodes are infinite. You have infinite number of nodes. Good. Okay, then comes the another definition. So it is called as simple graph. So a graph is called a simple graph when an edge connects only two or less than two endpoints. Okay, or a graph in which each edge connects two different vertices, and where no two edges connect the same vertices. What do you mean by this? So I'll just draw a graph. So let's say this is node number 1, node number 2, let's say node number 3, and node number, let's say 4. Okay. So when I say that I connect an edge connects to two nodes, okay, then this is a simple graph. Okay. But if you draw an edge connecting to 1 and 3, one more edge, so this is not going to be a simple graph. Okay. So this multiple edges are not allowed in simple graph. Okay. So one edge can connect at most two nodes. So that is what is simple graph. Then what is the next version of that? It is called as multi-graph. What do you mean by multi-graph? Again, the same thing. So you have, let's say, for example, node 1, node 2, node 3, and node 4. Okay. So when, sorry, okay, so this is the edge connecting to, let's say, for example, this is simple graph. Okay. But if I can have one more edge connecting to this is going to be multi-graph. Or if I have, let's say, some loop means what? If it is connecting to itself, then it is also called as multi-graph. So a multi-graph is a graph in which there can be more than one edge. There can be more than one edge between the same pair of vertices or same pair of nodes. Okay, and a loop is also allowed. So this is what is called as loop. So we say that this particular thing is called as loop. When a node or an edge, it starts from the same node and connect to the same node. Okay. So when a vertex have an edge that connects to itself, it's called as loop. Okay. And a graph that include loops and multiple edges is also called as pseudograph. Okay. So multigraph is a graph that has multiple edges, and then we have one more graph that is called as pseudograph, where you have multiple edges and loops. Okay. So simple graph, I will say no multiple edges, no loops. Okay. Multigraph, multiple edges, but no loops. Okay. And you have multiple edges and multiple loops or loops, then it is called as the, okay. So just a minute, I'll just change the setting. Okay. So we have seen simple graph, multiple graph or multi-graph, and pseudograph. Okay, good. Now we'll go with the next type of the graph, and which is very important graph, which is called as directed graph. Okay. What do you mean by directed graph? Again, the same thing. Let G be a set of vertices and number of edges, where V is set of non-empty nodes or vertices. So I'll use the word vertices, non-empty vertices, and E is set of what you say, It's a non-empty set. I'll just correct the word. Non-empty set of directed edges. Okay, so that is very important. So what you have here is directed edges. Okay, so let us have some example. Okay. Let's say this is node number 1, this is node number 2, okay, and then let's say this is node number 3. So when I say that it is a digraph or directed graph, so here you will have, sorry, so here what you will have is you will have a direction. Okay, so here 1 to 2 in the simple graph. So I'll draw a simple graph over here. When you draw a simple graph, there is no direction, but when you have a digraph, you will have a direction. So 2 to 3 maybe will be denoted like this, and 1 to 3 will be like this. Okay, but here if you see in simple graph, you don't have any direction. Okay, so this is very important. You have a set of directed edges, and here you have a non-empty set of vertices. Okay, so the direction is associated with the ordered pair. This, okay, so now here what is the order pair? Now when I say 1 comma 2, that it means that the edge is starting from 1 and going to 2. Then you have 2 comma 3. What does it mean? That edge is starting from 2 and going to 3. And then 1 comma 3. What does it mean? Edge started from 1 and is going to, okay, so this is what is the set of the order pair of the edges. And here it is 1 comma 2, or you write 1 comma 2 or 2 comma 3, doesn't mean 2 comma 3 and 1 comma 3 or 3 comma 1. So it's just the pair, but here it has a significance that it has a direction. Okay, so when you have a directed graph, so you will specify that G is a directed graph. Okay, so when you say directed graph, then this 1 comma 2 has a meaning that it starts with 1 and end with 2. It starts with 2 and end with 3. It starts with 1 and end with 3. So it has a meaning. But when you say undirected graph, it doesn't have any meaning. Okay, it is just only meaning is what it is, what connected between 1 and 2. It is connected 2 3. It is connected 1 2 1 3 like that. Okay, so again the same uh, simple directed graph. What will be the definition of simple directed graph? It has no loops and no multiple edges. Okay, good. And like that you have directed multigraph. What do you mean by this? So you have no loops, but you have multiple edges. Okay, good. And then let's say there is one more definition, that is the edge of multiplicity. So if you have m directed edges associated with a pair of, let's say, UV, then it is called as edge of multiplicity. So edge of, let's say, multiplicity of m means that there are m edges between u and v. Okay, good. So what I'll do, I just have, let's say, so let us have some the table. what I'll do, I will write the type. Type, okay. Then ages, then multi-ages, and then loops. Okay. So number one is simple graph. Simple undirected. Okay. So ages are undirected. Multiple ages, I'll say no. Loops, no. Okay. Then comes the second, that is multi-graph. Ages undirected. Okay, U means undirected. Multiple ages, yes. Loops, no. Okay. Third comes what? Pseudograph. Ages undirected. Multiple ages, yes. Loops, yes. Okay. Then comes the fourth, that is simple directed. Okay. Well, it's simple directed. Ages are directed. Multiple ages, no. Loops, no. Then comes the directed multigraph. Ages are directed. Multigraph, multi-ages, yes. Loops, no. And last one is what? Mix. Okay. So it can be have directed, undirected, multi-ages, yes, and loops also, yes. Okay. So you can remember these 6 types. Okay. We'll see one by one. No issue. Okay. So let us have one example so you will understand this with more clear. Okay. So I will take the example of round robin matches. Okay. Round robin tournament. Let's say there are five, let's say, teams. Okay. And they are, let's say, India, let's say Pakistan. Hmm? Maybe you can think about Asia Cup. So you can have Bangladesh, okay, and then Sri Lanka, and one, two, three, four, and what is remaining? Let's say what you have is say Afghanistan. Okay, so I will represent India with I, Pakistan with P. Okay, then comes the Bangladesh B, then comes the Sri Lanka S, and fortunately we have unique letters. Okay. Now, since the tournament is round robin, okay, what do you mean by round robin? So each team plays a match with each team, each other team. Okay. So, for example, India will play a match with, let's say, Pakistan. Good. Then India will play with this Bangladesh. India will play with Sri Lanka. Then India will play with Afghanistan. Okay. Now about the Pakistan turn, Pakistan have already played the match with India. So Pakistan will play with Bangladesh, Pakistan will play with Sri Lanka, and Pakistan will play with Afghanistan. Now about Bangladesh, Bangladesh have already played with Pakistan and India. So Bangladesh will play with Sri Lanka and then will play with the Afghanistan. Now Sri Lanka had already played with India, had played with Pakistan, had played with Bangladesh. Then it will play with, let's say, Afghanistan. Okay. So now about Afghanistan, Afghanistan have played with, look at this, India. It had played with Pakistan. It had played with Bangladesh. It has already done, and it had also played with the Sri Lanka. So there is no need to draw additional rows for Pakistan, Afghanistan. So here, this is what is the round robin way of tournament, and that's why you have this particular. So this is also kind of a way of representing this in a graph. Okay, good. So now tell me, uh, what is this? A simple graph or a multi-graph? It's a simple graph because an age connects at most two. So there is no second edge available between these two nodes. So these two nodes are connected by at most one edge. Okay? So there is only single edge connecting to this particular two nodes. So this is what is your simple graph. Okay. So can I represent it with directed graph? So obviously you can represent it with the directed graph, no issue. Okay, only the thing is that you have to give the directions to these edges. Okay, but you can have either direction, so India to Pakistan or Pakistan to India, whatever the way you can represent. Okay, so far so good. Now we'll see some graph terminologies. So if you have, let's say, two vertices or two nodes, let's say U and V, they are said to be adjacent. Okay, they are said to be two vertices. U and V are said to be adjacent if they are connected by an edge. Okay, so if there exists an edge between U and V, then it is said to be adjacent. Okay, or in a, or you can say neighbors in a particular graph. Let's say G. Okay, or in another word, you can say that U and V are endpoints of let's say some edge. So U and V are some endpoint of edge. So then they are said to be adjacent. Very easy. Okay. Or if an edge E is associated with U and V, then you can say that it is what is U and V are said to be adjacent. And you can say that edge E is okay. U and V are adjacent if they are connected by an edge, let's say E. And when say E is said to be incident, okay, E is said to be incident with nodes U and V. Okay, so if E is connecting to U and V, then E is said to be incident to U and V. Okay, so this is called as adjacent or incident. If it is for nodes, then they are said to be adjacent. If it is for the edge, it is said to be the incident. Okay. Then another definition, and the very important definition, which is called as degree of a vertex. Okay? Degree of a vertex or a node. So what do you mean by degree of a vertex? So the degree of a vertex in an undirected graph is the number of edges, incident to that node. Okay, the number of edges either starting or terminating at that particular node, except the loop is contributing twice, right? So number of edges. So here, what is the degree of U? It is 1. What is degree of V? It is again 1. Okay? So we'll have one example for this. Let's say you have, okay, I'll draw some, let's say some graph like this. Okay, these are the nodes. Now I have drawn it a kind of filled bubble. Okay, and there is an edge between this, and this, and this is connected to this. Okay, fine. And let us give some name to them. It's A, B, C, D. Let's say E, F, and G. Okay. Then what will be the degree of A? The degree of A, since you have only one edge incident to A, so it will be 1. Right? Good. Then degree of B. Look at that. 1, 2, 3. So you will have degree of B is equal to 3. Right? Like that, degree of C. 1, 2, 3, and 4. It will be 4. Degree of D. How many? Only 1. And like that, degree of E. Look at this, 1, 2, and 3. Degree of F is 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, and last one is degree of G. So ultimately there is no edge coming to this, so it is 0. Okay, good. Yes. Now in this graph I will tell you two more special type of graph component. Okay, so this particular, look at this, this D. Okay, look at this. So the degree of D is 1. So this particular graph or this particular node is called as pendant. Okay, the pendant that you wear in your necklace or like that. So because it is having degree 1. Okay, and like that you can see this particular node, this node is having degree 0. So it is called as isolated node. This is what is isolated node. Okay, so a vertex with degree 0 is called as isolated, and a vertex with degree 1 is called as pendant. Good, doing good. So I'll just take a break and review it. Any doubt in this? Just let me know. Are you getting? Okay, good. Okay. Okay, let us do some experiment over here. Okay. So how many edges are there? So I will just put it on this side. So number of edges what we have over here. So look at this: 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Number of edges, 8. Okay. Number of nodes. How many nodes are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Okay. Now, if we add the number of the degree of all vertices, so if we sum all the degree of vertices, so what will be the summation? Let us do it. 1 plus 4, 5, 5 plus 3, 8, 8 plus 3 is how much? 11, 11 plus 1, 12, 12 plus 4, 16. So summation of degree of all vertices V is equal to how much? 16 over here. Okay, and then you can see that, and as you know, number of edges is equal to 8. So what is the relation? You can see it is just the double. Okay, so now I will write a so now I'll just write one theorem over here. So the sum of the degrees of all vertices is twice the number of edges, you can say present in the graph. Okay, so you have number of edges 8 and the total summation of the degree is 16, and this is called as, this theorem is called as the hand shaking theorem. Okay, what is the hand shaking theorem? So you can imagine that there are, let's say, some n number of people in the party, and everyone do the handshaking with each other. Then the number of handshaking will be obviously the twice the number of the person. Okay, so this is what is the handshaking theorem. So we'll probably write it in a nice way. So I'll write this. So theorem, I'll say the handshaking theorem. Okay. So again, I'll write it in a nice way. Let G is equal to V comma E. What does it mean? Let G be a graph where you have set of vertices and set of edges. Be an undirected graph. Okay, with, let's say, E edges. With E number of edges. Okay, then what we say, summation of degree of all the vertices V, where small v is subset of, sorry, small v is subset of capital V, means it is the vertex in the set of vertices. So it is twice the number of edges. Okay, or you can just take this on this side and divide it. The number of edges will be obviously the summation of the degree divided by 2. Okay, and if you are wondering that if it is for the simple graph, no. So obviously this applies for the multiple edges and loops too. This applies for the multiple edges and loops, because when you say multiple edge, it will contribute obviously to degree 1 on this side and another side, and loop will contribute degree 2 to that particular node. Okay, so what do you mean by this? This is very important. The sum of the degrees of all vertices is twice the number of edges present in the graph. Okay, so we have already done this. Here we have calculated or taken the summation of this degree. So 1 plus 4 5 plus 3 8, 8 plus 3 11, 12, and 4 16. This is 16, and the total number of edges are 8. Here we have seen 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Okay, so total number of edges are 8, and then obviously it is, so it is quite logical, isn't it? When you add an edge, let's say this is x and this is y, when you add an edge, you will have 1 degree over here, 1 degree here. So an edge contributes to degree 1 on the receiver side, on the center side, or you can say on this side and the other side, on both endpoints. If you add one more edge, obviously it will be +1 on this side and +1 on this side. If you add a loop, there will be +2 because it will contribute 2. Okay, so it is going to be add in the multiple of 2. So it is quite obvious, but it is called as handshaking theorem. Okay, and with this we can have questions in the examination. So I'll take one question. Okay, just type the answer in the chat box. Okay, so how many edges are there with 10 vertices and this is interesting, each with degree 6. Okay, so how many edges are there in the graph when you have 10 vertices and each vertex is having degree 6? So quickly type the answer in the chat box. I will just switch it to the Google Classroom, Google Meet. Okay, good. Sagar said 30. Okay, that is the quickest answer that I got. Okay, so I'll just solve it for you because we are just starting this chapter. So what is the sum of the degree? So sum of the degree is equal to how many vertices are there? 10 vertices, and each is having degree 6. So it is going to be 60. Okay, so sum of the degree is 60, and therefore number of edges is equal to how much? 60 divided by 2. That is going to be 30. So this is your answer. Good. Okay, so I will give you one question for your homework. So show that you can take it as a homework. Just line over here. So that the sum of degree of the undirected graph, sorry, the sum of the degree of the, just a minute, sum of the degree of the nodes of an undirected graph, the degree of the nodes of the undirected graph is even. Got it? So you can solve it as a homework. So that the sum of the degree of the nodes of the undirected graph is always even. Okay, good. Now we'll have one more theorem. So I'll say it is my theorem number 2. I always make a mistake in writing spelling. Okay. And the theorem states that, look at this is very interesting. An undirected graph has even number of vertices, with odd degrees. Read it carefully. An undirected graph has even number of vertices with odd degrees. What does it mean? that there are some vertices having odd degrees, some vertices are having even degrees. Okay, so the number of vertices having odd degrees are always even. Okay, let us see it in our example. Are there any some? Okay, so here I'll just highlight it. Okay, so this is odd degree, this is odd degree, this is odd degree, and this is odd degree. So how many vertices are there with odd degree? 4. Okay, so there you always have even number of vertices having odd degree. Okay, so I will not prove right now directly. I'll just tell you. Okay, so you know that sum of the degree is always even. Okay, sum of the degree is always sum of the degree is always even. Okay, and you know odd plus odd makes it even, right? And then even plus even make it even, right? Yes or no? So there must be, if you add one more odd, then this will become odd. So there has to be even number of vertices having odd number of degree to make this even. Okay, this is quite logical, but you have to prove this with some little logic. Okay, so what do we say? We say that undirected graph has even number of vertices with odd degrees. Okay, so we know that what we know this is the number of edges is twice as the number of degrees. So number of degrees is summation of let's say small v in the set of vertices. So it is degree of small v. Okay, good. Now let us split this into two. Let's say there are some vertices having odd degree. So let's say I say v e. Okay, or say just a minute. Actually, my eraser is not working right now. So v1 belonging to ve1. So this is what is degree of v1 plus summation of let's say v2 belonging to odd number of degrees. So it is what is degree of v2. Okay. So this is set of vertices having even degrees. This is set of vertices having odd degree. Okay, and ultimately this is going to be even because it is 2 into edges. So if you put 1, it is going to it is, if you put 2, it is going to be 4. So it is going to be even. So this side is always even, right? This side is always even. So the first term in the last equality is always even. So this is even, right? Because you know you have even number of vertices, so even into number of even is even. And if you have odd number of vertices over here, okay, oh sorry, then it is going to be odd, and this even plus odd is going to be odd. Okay, so the second term it must be even. So this is even since it must be even, and then that's why it is even. So this is given, right? This is even, that you straightforward know. Here you have all the vertices are having even degrees. Okay, so you add it number of times. So maybe 2 plus, even if it is odd, doesn't matter. Okay, so you, let's say you have, let's say 2, but it is going to be even. Let's say 2 plus 4, it is going to be even, plus let's say 6 or whatever. Okay, or you say let's say 2, so it is going to be even. So even the number of vertices are odd, having the number of having the even degrees, it is going to be the even. So this is even. But what about this? So to have this even plus even will work. So the number of vertices having odd degree has to be even. Let's say 1, then it will become odd, and this will, oh, everything will become odd. So 1 plus 3, then it is total number of vertices are even, but the degrees are odd. And then let's say if you add 1, then again it will become odd. But for that you may have something even, sorry, odd. So this number of vertices are always going to be even. So that is quite straightforward. Okay. So this is concluded as there must be the E. What do you say? Just a minute. I'll delete everything. Okay. So here we have, forget about this part, this is going to be even always. So here you must have even number of vertices with odd degree, and then it is proved. So this is going to be even, this is even. So there, here you have to make odd plus odd even, you have to have even number of vertices. So it is going to be the, I'll just highlight it as the even number of vertices with odd degrees. Okay, good. I'll just pause for a while. Okay, Shruti, your answer is little wrong. Why it came 48? I don't know. Got it? Got the theorem number 2? Yes, please type it in chat box. Is this okay? Okay. Shall I proceed? Okay. So now we'll see some more terminologies which are related to a directed graph. Okay. So we have seen the adjacent terminology in the undirected. So when say U and V are connected, we say they are adjacent. But in the so in the directed graph, when you have an edge coming from U and going to V, okay. So when U and V is an edge in the directed graph, okay. So I say U comma V is there in the directed graph, then you say that U is said to be adjacent to V, okay. U is said to be U is adjacent to V, okay. And then in another word you can say that V is adjacent from, okay. So please excuse me for this. V is adjacent from U, okay. And this is called as initial vertex, okay. And this is called as terminal vertex. Why? Because this arrow is starting from U and it is reaching to V. So it is initial vertex and this is what is terminal vertex, okay, or ending vertex. Good. Okay. Now the degree that what we have calculated in the previous part was for the undirected graph. Okay. Now let us consider. Let's say this is U, this is V. Okay. And then if this is what is the age, okay, then what we have here, we have in degree, okay, and out degree associated with each vertex, okay. So now what do you mean by in degree? So in degree is the number of vertices terminating to your vertex, okay. So for example, in degree of V in this graph is 1 and out degree of V is obviously 0, and like that in degree of U is 0 and sorry, out degree of u is how much? 1. Okay. So out degree is the number of edges that are emerging from, or that are starting from, that are initiating from that particular vertex. It's called as the in degree, sorry, out degree. And in degree is the number of edges that are terminating to that particular node. It is called as out degree. Good. Some of the time that in degree is called as degree minus. Okay. So degree minus v, and out degree is called as degree plus v. Okay. So this is in some books you will have this notation. Okay. And if you have a loop, let's say if you have a loop, then it will contribute to in degree as well as out degree of that particular vertex. Okay. So let us have one example of in degree, out degree, and then we'll have a better understanding. So let's say this is A, say this is B, then C, okay, D, E. You can also draw side by side, so that will also help you to understand. Okay, A to B. I will just let me draw the graph first, so that we'll have this discussion. Okay. A little complicated graph, so that you will have all the terminologies understood. Okay. Good. Okay, so I'll just solve for few, and then you can solve it for the rest. So degree minus of 8. What do you mean by this? In degree. In degree of A is how much? 1, 2. Look at this. How many edges are coming to you? How many edges are terminating to you? So this is 2. And like that, degree plus of A. How many edges are leaving? 1, 2, 3, and 4. Don't forget to count this loop. It is going to be 4. Okay, and like that, I will write it for, let's say, out, sorry, in degree of B. In degree of B is 2, and out degree of B is 1. Okay, and like that for C. So I'll just write it over here. In degree of C is 1, and outer degree of C, sorry, in degree of C is 2, and out degree of C is 2. Okay, like that you can count for E, F, D, G. Okay, whatever. Now, again, can you tell me what is the relation with this sum of in degrees of all vertices and sum of out degrees of all vertices? Can you put the relationship? Okay. So since you have, let's say, just use some other color. Sorry. You have, let's say, A, you have B. Okay, if you put a directed edge, so in degree is 1 over, sorry, out degree is 1 over here, in degree is 1 over here. Okay. But if you put one more edge over here, so outer degree will be 1, in degree will be 1. Okay. So if you sum the in degrees and out degrees, so it is going to be same. Sum of in degrees of all vertices is same as sum of the out degree of vertices, because whenever you have a directed edge, it will contribute to in. Okay, on this side it will contribute to out. Okay, so you have plus one over here, you will have plus one over here. If you drop one more edge, it will contribute to the out sorry, in degree over here and contribute to out degree on this side. Okay, so some of the, so this out out and in is always same. Okay, so some of the in degree and out degree are going to always be same. Okay, so you can put it in nice theorem. So again, I'll write a theorem over here. Theorem number 3. Okay. I will directly put it into the mathematical notation. Let G be, let's say, set of vertices and edges be a directed graph. Then summation of small v belonging to set of vertices. So this is what is in degree of v. Summation of all degree is same as summation of v belong to v out degree of v. So in degree is same as out degree. Okay, good. Interesting. Okay, now we'll have the last point that we will see the types of graphs, and then we'll conclude, and tomorrow we'll see the next topic. So, I'll say we'll see types of graphs. Okay, so number 1 is called as complete graph. Okay, so what do you mean by complete graph? So I'll just draw some examples for you, and then you tell me what is a complete graph. Okay. So let's say this is one, this is another, okay. Then this is one more graph. You have edge from this to this, this to this, and this to this. And I'll have one more graph. So this. And I'll draw one more. So let's say this one node, this another node, fourth and fifth. Okay, and the edges 1 to 2, 1 to 3, 1 to 4, 1 to 5. Let's get one more edge. Now it looks good. Okay, so this is one graph, okay, where number of vertices are 1. Okay, this is another graph where the number of vertices are 2. Okay, k is I just put as the number of vertices. Okay, let's say k is equal to 3. Okay? Not I'll say k1 is equal to 2. Like that, I'll say k1, k2, k3, k4, and k5. So this number actually denotes the number of vertices. So you have one vertex, here you have two vertices, here you have three vertices, here you have four vertices, and here you have five vertices. So what do you mean the complete graph? In a complete graph of n vertices, so n can be anything. So the graph contains exactly one edge between a pair of vertices. So here you have exactly one pair between a set of vertices, and all of them are connected with each other. Okay, so this is connected to this is connected to this, and this is connected to this. Okay, so the complete graph of n vertices denoted by kn, okay, is said to be complete if there exists one edge between each pair of distinct vertices. Okay, so I probably can write. So the graph with n vertices is said to be complete if there exists exactly one edge, okay, between a distinct pair of vertices. Okay, so you take any pair of vertices, you will find, okay, and the graph with n vertices is said to be complete. And how do you represent the complete graph? Complete graph is represented by n, where n is the number of vertices. Okay, good, easy. So next type of graph is called as cycle. Okay, it is very easy. So I will again draw the graph, and then you will understand. Okay, so let's say this K3 or C3, you say 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay. I'll just draw the edges now so we will understand. Now this is, look at this. Okay. And then you see that this is C3, C4, C5, and this is C6. Okay. So it is called a cycle. Now you can understand what do you mean by cycle. Okay, so the cycle, which is Cn, okay, where n is greater than or equal to 3, it must be greater than or equal to 3, otherwise it won't be a cycle. Okay, it will consist of how many, say, n vertices. Okay, obviously n vertices. Okay, and how many edges? So n edges, n edges, such that let's say 1 to 2, 2 to 3, and 3 to n minus 1, and n minus 1 to n. Okay, then it is said to be a cycle. So one, let's say if you number it 1, 2, 3, then 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 1, it's a cycle. Okay, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, it's a cycle. 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, and 5 to 1, so that is also a cycle. And last one is a variation of the cycle. Okay, it's very easy. What I will do, I'll just copy this part, so that you know, I will save time. Now, instead of cycle, I will write it as wheel. Okay, and again, these numbers are no longer required. What is a wheel? Now look at this. I will draw one more vertex just in between this and the edges like this. You can see it as a kind of steering type or a wheel type where you have all the spokes connected to the central vertex. Okay? It's just a kind of a design in the graph. Okay, so this is what is your W3, this is W4, this is W5, and this is W6. Okay, so Wn, a graph with n vertices, can be obtained by adding a vertex. So Wn can, just now what we have done, obtained by adding a vertex to Cn. Okay, Wn can be obtained by adding a vertex to Cn, obviously for n greater than 3. Okay, and connecting each vertex to the newly added vertex, and that is what is your wheel, right? So this is W3. So we have added this, and we have connected this. We have added this node, this vertex, and then we have added these edges. Okay, good. I'll just quickly revise. This is complete graph where you have n number of vertices. Okay, and then you have, oh sorry, I just I don't know why this particular edge has got deleted. Okay, good. So each and every vertices are connected with each other. Cycle, you have a loop in such loop in a sense, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 1. Okay, so each and everything is connected. Okay, and add a central vertex to cycle and then connect it with the all other n vertices, then you have wheel. Okay, sounds good. And there is one more thing, that is n cube. So I'll just quickly add that. Okay, and we will finish it. So n cubes, so it is in a cube fashion. So n cube with 2, sorry, so this is, let's say, when you add it, it will be 0 1. Okay, but when you have for 4, let's say this is 0 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 0, then you probably can have this added. So look at the code, 0 0, then this is 0 1 1 0 and 1 1. There is just a difference of 1 bit. And when you have more than that, how to do that? So I'll just draw it over here. Okay. And then this remaining one, I'll first connect it so that you will understand it. Okay. now you can see that it is a cube. Okay, and then the numbers can be like the 0 0 0, and then there's just one bit difference of 0 0 1 0. Oh, sorry, you can have 1 0 0, and this can be 0 1 0. Okay, and then there can be another bit difference, and you can go on like that. So that can be, so you can have 0 0 0 1 0 0 0. And just let it clearly so that sorry. So look at this 0 0 0. So there is first bit difference. So this last bit will differ. 0 1 0. Second bit is differing. Okay, and this is 1 0 0. First bit is differing. 1. Okay, first, second, third. Then 1 1 0. So this bit is differing. Then you have 1 1 1. Last bit is differing. This is 1 1 0 0 1 0. So only the first bit is differing, and this is going to be 0 1 1. So this is going to be the middle bit, and this is going to be 1 0 1. Okay, so this numbering is also have significance. Only there is a significance in the change in the bit. So how do you represent it? This is Q1, this is Q2, and this is Q3. Okay, so the n-dimensional hypercube of n cubes actually denoted by Qn is the graph. So I'll write it quickly. So Qn is the graph with 2 raised to n vertices. Okay, now this is interesting. So 2 raised to 1 is going to be 2, 2 raised to 2 is going to be 4, and 2 raised to 3 is going to be 8. Labeled with 0, 1, 2 up to 2 raised to n minus 1. So that let's say two of them, sorry, two of them is connected with an edge if the binary representation differs by, this is important, exactly 1 bit. Okay, so this you underline it. Look at this, 0 0 0. Okay, only one, this bit is different. 0 0 0, this bit is differing with this. Okay, 1 1 1. So 1 0, so this bit with this, and this bit is with this. So that's why 1 1 is on this side. I cannot write 1 1 over here because it will have a difference of 2 bit. Okay, so that's why we have this hypercube connection. Okay, or this is called as n cube. Good. So I think I will take a break here. We'll meet tomorrow.